Good afternoon, fellow punters. Back with you again today on Thursday, just gone 1 o'clock, with a few selections for tomorrow. Um, Finding it difficult to get one or two today, but there was no bother getting a heap of them for tomorrow, so we had to sort of pick and choose. And we stayed loyal to a couple of, and we have a couple of newcomers. Um, Big crowd at the bus stop this morning when I arrived, all in jovial mood and a few tourists. The first one on board was Mark Walsh. He was an absolutely tremendous for him. He said very nice things, and we were very appreciative for the nice comments. Mark, I think he might be a dub. Confirm that, will you please? Um, Colin Dow and Tony Mack were on then in great form. Christina Davis had her usual tip for the bus. It's Tango Echo Charlie Friday night in Worcester. Thomas Balfe was telling everyone that he made money yesterday in Kimpton, that he was on a gamble. And MP, I think he's from Galway. I think it's with our Galway wit. We do call the Galwegians, we call them herding chokers, all in a good way. They call us sheep shaggers or sheep stealers. So we'd have good banter with them. Meant to say as well, John Curragh from Chicago, he used to ride in Aircourt Donkey Derbies years ago for under 10s. And John was very small, but he still is. And he used to ride when he was 15 and 16, but that's a long time ago. I forgot to say that, John. Kevin Hassett was in great form. Stephen Pitt, he asked to be dropped off at the nearest gallery. He was bringing some paintings with him, so some of the boys helped him on with those. Rita King was in good form. She was tipping her toes away. Martin Roach from Wisconsin was home. It was great to see Martin. Don't know what county he's from, because he hadn't time when he was boarding on the bus so fast. He had lots of luggage with him, so he must be staying for a while. I had some great days in Wisconsin years ago. We used to be up at a Trad Fest and Irish dancing competitions years ago with a crew from Chicago, the Maloney sisters. They were good. Gaz C. and David Downey. And there was a new man this morning. He was dressed very elegantly, Errol Dixon, and he bought a monthly pass, so he's staying for a while. And C.L. Agri, I think he's a farmer or farming background. And get well to DJ Lee Sains, who was under the weather this weather, and Michael Doyle let a few yups out of him as he went on, and Philip Wright got a pass as well, extension for a few days. But a good enough day yesterday. The gamble in the first race looked to be a bit unfit. A galloper too short to my naked eye. I only watched it once yesterday, and I didn't see it when it was live actually yesterday because I was in the bus. But it looked to be a gallop short. It had ran at 7 furlongs a couple of times and just a bit tied up. Bit disappointed with that, but I got the each way double with Elm Valley, and that was impressive. And if it brushes up and it's jumping, it'll win again. Clouted the last, and he went for a big one way out in the country. It's a good job he got away with it. So that was a good winner. 7s and 8s the night before, and a good few were on, which was good. The other one, what do you call him? Secret Road. I didn't see that race yet. I was busy last night. A long story. What was the night? Oh yeah, London Palladium. Maybe he was at the Palladium the night before. But anyway, few for tomorrow. I'm doing a pint double. There's a 7 to 4 and a 6 to 4. Admiralty Place. It was an unlucky second for us. We're not getting a clear run, or maybe you could call it a bad ride. Although a fella told me one time there was no such thing as a bad ride. He classed it as you could have an awkward ride, but never a bad ride. In Limerick, 2 starts back. But it was a good third in a valuable handicap in Cork last time, and it was nudged up £4 for that. So back in the maiden, it's rated 87. Should be winning for Jessica Harrington. Although Jessica, I don't think has had a winner for us yet, and we picked a few of her horses. So hopefully she can break that duck for us tomorrow if she's listening in. Now, if we double that with Goshen, the good hurler. Hurler, now, not the GA ones. He won his last two over hurls. And he seems to have turned, he used to be strolling mad daft altogether the way he's out in front, so he seems to be able to settle a bit better. His last flat run was an inadequate 1 miles 4. It was actually in Goodwood as well in October 2020. So if you got a 7 to 4 and 6 to 4, that's 11 to 2 double. So I might do that for a pint. And then there was a 27 or 28 runner field in the 6 o'clock in the Curragh. I love tackling these handicaps. Now, that said, I don't know whether I have the winner or not, but we'll go for it anyway. It's 150,000 pot, 90k for the first, 30k for second, and 15k for third. So all handbrakes will be off. Star Harbour is a 4-year-old gelding out to see the stars, trained by Ada McGuinness. It's put up £2 to 94 for finishing third of 26 to Radaburg in the Irish Lincoln, first time out this year. And it was 5th of 27 and 7th of 23 in two big field handicaps last August and September, and only as a 3-year-old. So you'd imagine it would improve now as being a 4-year-old. And Radaburg won next time out after that run of a £9 higher mark. Drawn 14, so he's in the middle. So the jockey running wheeling, I think, will need look and running, and he'll need to know which side to go with the pace. But it won off 90 in Killarney last July and won over 1 mile 2 in Navan last May. So it stays well. It was 14 to 1. Well, it is 14 to 1 with William Hill. And they're paying 7 places. I think that's worth a £2 each way bet. I would be very sweet on that being in the money at least. And the 8:35 at Worcester, the 2 mile 4 mare's handicap hurl, Rock on Rita, 6-year-old mare out of Curragh. It won for us at 4 to 1 on the 20th of April by 6.5 lengths. It was put up £8. It has won 2 of its last 3, and it was only run 7 times in its life. It's only a 6-year-old. 30-day break is sound. The trainer is going okay out of his last 41 runners. 7 wins, 11 places, 17% strike rate. So I'll have a pint win on that. And then I suggested a fun bet the last day on Inca Prince at 2 miles, but it's back to more realistic. 10 furlongs in the 120 at Haydock tomorrow. And it's interesting that Ruth Jefferson persists in the flat, bringing him back. He's a good engine, and he won over 7 furlongs in Dundalk when he was a couple of years when he was with Henry de Bromhead. So she's running him quick again. He's 14 to 1. There's 9 runners in the field. I think we can go a pint each way on that. The last day I was sort of saying, that if he learns to settle and gets a breather in, and James O'Sullivan tips him for home, he could be hard enough stopped. So maybe we might get a place at 14 to 1. I just can't overlook it. So that's us. That's I think, isn't it? There was a couple one time, and they were out at a dance in Pontoon, and it was in the old time country ballrooms, dance halls. So after the first dance anyway, he just asked her, would you like to stay on? So she says okay anyway. So then another dance, a couple of slow ones anyway, and then he asked her, would you like to have a mineral? So they were down and she had a 7-Up and a candy bar down in the mineral room anyway, and then he says to her, would you like a lift home? So she says that she had no car. Cars were very scarce that time. So she says, right, sure, anyway, so you have a car? Well, I have a bit of a one. So she says, well, a bit of a one is, better than nothing. It might, whatever sort of a jalopy it is, it'll get me home anyway. So they went out the door anyway, and they were walking down the road, and she says, where are you parked? And he was trying to twirl her up a laneway, up for a bit of canoodling. So she said, are you parked up there? He says, well, I am a sort of. And he was him and hawing. And she says, I thought you said you had a car. Well, I have parked one. And she says, how do you mean? He says, I have the horn. Good luck.